this line, but
Right. Yeah, the Grove connector had it backwards all along, but I guess nobody really checked and put a device on it to check it.
yeah.
Hey,
Morning,
Yella.
evening.
We were just talking about the I2C issues with the board, but if you follow that. But,
You see that on the forum already?
I haven't yet. I did see some. I haven't read up on the messages yet.
yeah, some lines are swapped by accident, I think.
I see.
Sometimes in case you overlay them, they automatically connect, and then they don't put a marker there, and you have to check them if the line it goes, and then suddenly, oops, I saw what happened, and then I changed it.
I see. So the current board
Good morning.
doesn't work then?
Shouldn't work. It couldn't work. With I2C going out, but the other one basically the rest works fine. So, but we're not using it at the moment. So that's why Michael came across it when he wanted to use it and didn't work.
Right.
Yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah, it's an issue.
So fixed in board 4.1 or
Yes.
something.
So the only way to get it to work was to put together a 6-wire harness and then swap SDA and SCL, the clock and the data lines on I2C. And then I got so there really is a compass magnetometer inside that unit. And I actually have it working, giving me orientation.
That's good.
But it needs to be aligned one time, or not?
Right. So you set the declination, you look up where you live and you set the declination based on that. But then there is still some calibration left after that. It actually is pretty close. It's off but then I'm indoors, with all these electronics near me. So, it really needs to be calibrated outdoors.
Okay, good. Yella have been doing something, or you've been busy with other projects?
I have been doing something at least. I added a few, well, for the Zen, of course, but I added a few options to the settings. Not the Bluetooth yet. I saw you asked about it yesterday or before.
Yesterday, I think.
I haven't added that one yet, but I did add the option to enable logging of void GPS and lines so that they won't show up in the logs, as well as to disable the journal logging, because if you never use it, you might as well just disable it, because it takes a lot of lines. Like if you just throw it away or never use it, might as well not log to it. So that's an option, as well as, what was the other? That was the display of the CPM or microsieverts.
Yep, that's the important one. Yep, that's great.
On my drive mode, it now has the microsieverts in the focus. And then there was also, oh no, those were the 3 options I added. And then there was like one other option, which was the manual logging, that I also added to the server and the SD card, because it wasn't there yet. That is to, like, if you enter drive mode, it will start logging directly. That's the default, but you can also turn that off. So
that's great.
Now an option. So getting more customizable, that's always nice.
Yeah, I think so too. I hope we still have enough space left for other customization.
Yeah, I think so.
We can always have a web server start up, and we have lots of options there if we have. So that's true. Basic options we have to figure out.
Yeah.
Talking about basic thing, I'm still not sure what we should do. Should we call it fixed mode or real-time mode? I start to look into it, and I think real-time makes much more sense to me. You can select if you have it fixed or mobile mode, because the red node works like that too. And I think it makes more sense, at least for me.
Yeah, that is true. I think the suggestion I had, because I kind of want on the map to display your sensor as a fixed mode, that it is always like, if it's up and running on its fixed location, then you can see that. And then if you go out and you take your device with you, you go out of your fixed range, it can still upload data, but maybe we can then show that the fixed sensor is now offline or like not available because it's not reporting on that location, and then it's like roaming or whatever. It's kind of the suggestion I had, at least.
That's
So we can
what
differentiate.
my main concept is all the data goes to the server, and then you filter it out. If you want at one location the data, just filter it out. That will be on the map. So if it's data coming at that moment, yeah, that's great. But if there's no data coming, then it's not there.
Yeah, that's, I guess if we can do it on the server side, that's
That
kind of what I was suggesting as well. But I thought maybe we can add like a flag, like this is in fixed mode.
Oh yeah, the flag will be.
This is what it's configured as the location. I think it's nice if we can add that to the data when we send it to the API. So it's easier to filter even. So you can change locations, and then it will just like pick up the new location right away.
Yeah, that makes sense. But also, I like the whole concept of real time, because that's a very strong point for let's say advertising the Zen for people to buy it, because there's not so many real time sensors out that you can just use Geiger counters. Let's say this. And
I think if we focus on that, then we should also add like multiple options to configure multiple like Wi-Fi networks, because my phone network is different.
No, but what I said too, like there's if there is one open, it can automatically connect. I think I made an issue on GitHub of that, a request. So if there is a network, you can always go in if you want.
Yeah, but if it's protected, then you still have to configure it.
Yes, then you have to configure it. But if it's open, it picks it up and it can send if you want to. So basically, it's a kind of as automatic as possible. So if there is one open, it can send. What do you think? I mean, this is one idea.
It's possible. I mean, we can scan for Wi-Fi networks and.
Louis, we don't hear you.
I think he's
maybe he's not talking to us.
He has his headphones up as well. So.
That's true.
Yeah, automatically connecting to open networks, we could do that. Though a lot of open networks, maybe like public networks, you still have to like log in through some page or like accept some terms. So I'm not sure if that would work.
Because I have other devices, and for example, a small, let's say, a ferrometer. So it has a Wi-Fi on it. It automatically connects to any open network, and it can send data, or you can see it. So I thought that was a wonderful option. And if you're just driving and you want to, and the data you want the data to be sent, it's sent automatically. So you don't have to worry about anything setting up and. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You're back.
Yeah, sorry, I missed part of that conversation. You said to My grandson was asking me a question about his Rubik's Cube. Anyway, one thing I've noticed that there's a lot of open Wi-Fi networks around here. If I go into a coffee shop or something like that, or a donut shop, but it's provided by, there's a sign-on page that has to go on. So, like you get the thing, I don't know, so you won't get access to the network, right? It just actually redirects to the local server, and you click on I accept the terms and conditions, whatever, and then it lets you through. So I'm not too sure that the scenario I'm concerned about is that the Zen finds that open network, thinks it's sending data because nothing comes back.
But the thing is that if it cannot get anything back an idea, then you just disable it or you go to the next one. That's that's a possibility, because we know if it's sending data and it gets a correct number an ID back from the measurement, then it's there. Then it surely works.
Yeah, we can blacklist like some networks, for example, like keep track of networks that you were able to connect to, but if you try to send data to the API, you would get like a faulty response, like I don't know, like a redirect to a login page or something.
And back.
And we can just say, well, we disconnect, and then we'll never try to connect to that one again, for example. But then you also have other issues, like maybe you connect to your own network, which is open, like you host like a hotspot, but you have some connectivity issues. We'll certainly blacklist that as well. You don't really want that. So it is a bit more difficult. I think the easiest option is to have being able to configure multiple networks. So you can at least configure your hotspot network as well as your home network and maybe some other networks.
Yes.
And then I can just cycle through it, like see what network is available, connect to that one, and then just go on.
From a list, the small list. Oh, that might, I even like that better.
Yeah.
Because then you're sure it's going to work, and it's your choice which one to select. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a better option than automatically. Yeah. Louis, sorry, we lost you for a moment.
Yeah, I had a freeze up, so I just restarted Zoom, and it seems to be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for your input. I did mention it as well when you were not listening or crashed. I was before that, but that's okay.
But yeah, no,
yeah.
My networking right now is just terrible, so I just I turned off the video and everything.
That's okay.
Okay.
I don't really have anything to report because I've been sick all week. Just basically dragging this cold. I get home. Yeah. Nothing, like nothing dramatic. It's just I get home and crash for 2 hours. So like, wow. Anyway, it's almost over, and the school semester is almost over. Yay. Okay. Students are sick of me. I'm sick of the students. It's all good.
But the new semester will start soon, or?
Yeah, but I'm only doing one section of that course, and it's the same course over again. So it's just pretty much on autopilot, and it's only one section, 1 day a week. So it just keeps me amused, gives me some beer money and or money for toys, and I'll just keep on going throughout the summer.
Okay.
I just noticed something. Yeah, I hope your cold get over that cold soon.
Oh, yeah.
I just noticed something on your set brightness. When you turn the display off, it's if you just set M5 AXP set DC 3 to false, it still doesn't turn off the backlight. You have to set screen breadth to 0, and then I'm looking at it and the screen is completely off. There's no backlight.
That's good.
in there. So it's
Right.
probably saving, a good amount of power by having the display completely turned off.
Yes, I think so too.
And
Yeah,
that's
so
when
I
you
added,
don't have the screensaver disabled.
yeah, so I put together my second board, and that has the Core 2 version 1.1, and the screen starts out at brightness 100%. And that's when I said, okay, I've got to add brightness control to the
Mhm.
an option to the setup menu for the GPS test bed. And then I started playing around with those settings. But I kept, if you look at an angle, I was like saying, well, the backlight's still on, but now that fixes that.
Okay, that's good.
So screen breadth to 0 then.
0 and the set DC-DC3 to false.
Yeah, okay.
Do both of those things,
I see.
and then it
Good
comes
fine.
back up.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
works fine. Like, did you add that already, or?
I added it to the test bed for the GPS.
All right. Well, I added it to the Zen right now, so
Okay, good.
that's okay. Yeah, because the else is if you want to like turn it on again, it already sets the screen breadth to whatever level you configure it. So it's
Right,
okay to set it to 0, and when it's off, like that makes sense.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do both.
Yeah, exactly. That's good.
I noticed that there was a higher level function called LCD sleep and LCD wake up, and those didn't completely turn things off like this does now.
Hmm.
That probably was only messing around with screen breadth.
Mhm.
Screen breadth, it kind of makes me think that it has to do with contrast, but I don't think it's changing the backlight. I don't know.
Mm.
You could play with these things forever. It's all software at that point.
Mhm.
Yep.
I have one other question about the satellites. And I don't know if you saw my note, Jelle, but because I would like to, on the satellite page from Zen, at the moment, we only see the satellites. But there's no explanation what it is or which one is online or used for navigation. If we have a very short summary on that page, like so many used for navigation, so many visual, and
Hmm.
blue is active and red is not active, these kind of things. Very short. That would be much nicer, I think.
Well, blue
Yeah,
is used
I
blue
think
is used for navigation and red is not.
Yes, that the other way around.
yeah, we
Right.
can move it like a little bit to the left or right and have like a corner with some information.
Yeah, that will be a good idea. I think so.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult for me to test because I don't have my GPS working still. Still waiting for the module, and then I don't know. I think it's maybe at this point having a 4.0 board. I don't know. I just have to figure something out here with my GPS.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
And Michael, I saw also you were trying to get grids, and they are hard to get. I looked for you and asked around, and
Yeah. That Medcom, they don't make them anymore.
oh, Metcom doesn't make them anymore.
No, they have
L&D, sorry, Metcom, yeah, Metcom doesn't make them anymore. L&D never made them.
never made them, right. Yeah.
And Joe mentioned the material it's made from a special kind of copper.
Yeah. The beryllium copper grid.
Mhm.
So this 3D printed grid will be great. Are you getting a batch order of those, or?
First one, and to see if that works correctly. And then normally is my experience with 3D printing. It's always a little bit off, not perfectly. So
Sure.
try a few times and then make it. And I used to make it myself, but I don't do that anymore. Only if I have an emergency, I will print myself. But I'll just let them make it. It takes a few days, and then it's here. It's
Right.
much cheaper than I make it.
Yeah, so for us, and I still struggle with 3D, designing in 3D. But the libraries will do that for free around us. You just send them the file and then they'll print it out for you.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes a long time. Sometimes takes a few weeks for them to do it for you.
If I send it to, if I let that made in China, it's here in basically 4 days. They 72 hours printing, and
Right.
later it's here.
Wow.
Yeah, and cheap. You pay $6 for a part for ship,
Right.
but the part itself is $1 or something like that.
Right.
It goes by volume.
Right. Right.
It doesn't go by let's say by complexity or something like just the volume of the resin being used.
Yeah, it's just time on the printer.
Yeah.
It doesn't know about complexity.
No. And also the materials. I mean, I had some custom part made for my hydro with metal. You can ask metal too. I was
Right.
impressed by that. It's not cheap, but it's good.
Really?
Yeah.
So is that the kind where they have a bath of metal and then they fuse with lasers?
I have no idea how they do it. Oh, normally it's in the SLA printers they have. SLA is with resin, and the resin they have two lasers where they hit. It's the solidifying point,
Right. Right.
or basically it's 3D. So,
Right. It's amazing.
yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I have one here, and it's amazing if you see that going. It's like, it's
Right.
because it's smelly, and you have to be careful with the stuff.
Right.
But you can get like a rubber too. I mean, I have made rubber samples, and it's amazing. But metal, not.
Wow.
Sorry, that was an off topic. But
Not completely.
another
It's it.
topic is taking notes these days. I use. Oh, hold on, let me show that. Because Louis always makes notes. I noticed, but if you have one like this,
Mhm.
can you see
A
that?
tablet?
No, it's you can write on it, but and you can erase it very easy. Kunk. And they're so cheap. They're $2.
Wow.
I was shocked by how easy that is. You don't
Yeah,
need it
my
anymore.
grandson has
Okay.
one, keeps him busy in the car.
What did you say?
My grandson has one, it keeps him busy in the car.
By
It's
drawing.
yeah,
Drawing.
just, yeah, no, it's electrostatic.
Yeah.
It's basically, it's just you're attracting these little particles to the screen, and when you want to erase it, you hit the button, and it's piezoelectric, just pushes the powder back to the back.
Right. So
Really clever.
modern Etch-a-Sketch.
Yes.
No, it's
Yeah,
exactly like
basically.
yeah.
So I'm going to tie the GPS, the magnetometer in with the map,
Mhm.
and then push another update to the test bed. So there's a bunch of libraries out there for the magnetometer, but all but one were kind of useless. For example, whenever you have a library that is going to use a device on the I2C bus, you want to have the init program or the startup program return a Boolean value to tell you that it's actually connected to the device.
Yes,
And
the
yeah, the 10 libraries I looked at, they don't return anything. It's void. So they don't tell you. They just say, I think I connected to the device. But then DF Robot library actually goes out, writes to some registers, reads them back, and confirms that it actually connected to the device correctly. So it's a big library though, because it supports 3 different versions of that magnetometer. But it works. So, right. Is that about it? Oh, we can't hear you. No, not yet. Obviously you can hear me. And you're not muted.
No, not muted. Yes. Let me check.
There you go.
That's
Now
better.
you're,
Oh, it's just very low. That's all.
oh, okay.
By accident, I hit some.
Happens to the best.
Yeah. You were saying, Robert? Rob, you were saying something? Now you're muted again.
Oof.
Let me check here.
Okay. I heard you for a second.
I was say, oh, okay. It went.
Now you're off again.
Oh, I can see
It's-
that.
You're in and out.
Hmm.
Yeah, now it should be okay. Oh, it got out. There's no. I
Voice
don't.
activated disable microphone. Interesting.
Yes.
You're still coming in and out.
Yes, I know. I cannot change it at the moment. So hold on, let me check. I think that's it. It wasn't automatically level.
Ah,
Oh,
so
alright.
it's a threshold thing.
Threshold, yes.
But why did it all of a sudden change? Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, maybe there was a shortcut and I pressed by accident the shortcut.
Sounds like one of those voice activated radios. You hear pilots go, and that triggers the Vox, and then they start talking. That's why they talk funny like that.
Yeah,
Tower.
yeah.
Hmm.
Please don't do that. It's really annoying.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, they anyway, I basically have nothing to report. I have a chance next week, no, 2 weeks from now, to go and steal that, I mean, borrow that discount antenna. If it's still there. They haven't hasn't disappeared in somebody's fit of cleanup. But I don't think we're going to find any other interference problems, but it's good to check.
Right.
Oh yeah, I had a note here about the fixed mode for GPS. If I noticed in the uBlock's documentation that they have a fixed mode configuration where it basically shuts down the jitter. It just basically just assumes that it's not moving and treats those little imperfections as a as just noise, and just basically gives you a long-term average of the position as opposed to instantaneous.
Oh, that's good.
Just
That's great you found that because that's always an issue with the GPSs. They keep moving around on the map. That would be
okay.
wonderful if it's in a location within, let's say, a few meters all the time.
Yeah.
Well, we have that fixed in the software now. So if you're within range, a specific range, then it will just assume the configured fixed location. And if you go
Okay.
outside, then you are no longer in the location. So and in the ROP mode, it will always take the GPS value, so it will not like use the fixed location. That's the difference.
Right.
Although, like in the new
But
configuration that we discussed, we could probably like either snap to that fixed location or like go free, basically.
Okay, well, let me
send
figure out.
send
Yes,
that
sorry.
post that information though from the uBox manual or to give me the page numbers because it'd be interesting just to experiment with that in the toolbox.
Okay.
Right.
That you meant that was for Louis, I think.
Yes.
Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Louis to post that, yes. So the test bed, I mean, that's where we could experiment with that to see if that satisfies that, it'd be interesting to see how far away, what kind of window that is, or if it's an adjustable window for a fixed location.
Okay.
Will
And
do.
for you mentioned one time, Michael, that you wanted to make a video or write down when you're building the board, but I start already making the manual for it. So if you want to add your notes to it, that's also good.
Yeah, because you know, it's like a moving target with all the different board versions that are coming out, and whether or not.
I want also only for 303, because that we have
Right.
about 30 boards, and the kids are supposed to come. At least 20 people want to buy a kit, so we have at least 20 people. We should give them some guidance.
Right.
Hmm.
So they're not going to be able to use the magnetometer in
No,
that
not yet.
in that
No.
board,
No,
right? Or the Grove connector won't
Correct.
has SDA and SCL swapped as well.
Mhm. Yeah, we
Um,
should make a note. I will make a note of that. That's
Right.
still let's say a beta version of the board.
But other than that, it was basically like building the 300 board. There were the pins that were offset on the charging board.
Yes, we know that.
So I used a wire and a thick wire instead,
Mm.
because you have to bend it, the
No,
pins
but
to get there.
if you put them straight along, they just fit in.
Yeah, I could have used I could have bent the pin as well, but I decided to do it
Mm.
the other way.
I normally build them. I put them loose in, then I put the charger on it, then solder the charger, and then solder it in the board.
Right.
Then it's fine too. On the safe poles, it's the stabilizer pin is a little bit off. It's not parallel to the board. It's not so
Right.
I think so. It's a little bit off, but
And that's fine. It actually gives you an alignment for the actual pancake detector.
oh, that's true.
It keeps that centered in the board, which is fine.
Mm.
Okay, but this second build is missing the SafeCast and the SafeCast board, and then I need a protective screen. Before I don't want to put that thing in there without a protective screen.
Yes.
Because if I
Be very
touched it,
careful. Yes, I
Yeah.
already last week I blow another tube. I even with a grid on it. There was a small pin on my work desk. I didn't see it, and I put it down and pop. Oops.
yeah,
Oh,
that's $115
Yeah,
US.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Luckily, it was not a new one. It wasn't a
Right.
used one, so they came from an old inspectors. So.
all right.
We have other things to discuss because we are running out of time already, I think. So.
Oh,
I found that thing I was talking about, the fixed position. It's in that big manual is section 7.4. I'll just
Okay.
post that in a second here. There we go.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
And
put an option to play around with that in the test bed.
Yeah, it seems to be triggered by velocity or acceleration. So if the velocity drops below a certain threshold, it'll go into static hold. That option is disabled by default, and it'll pick up again if there's motion. So above a certain threshold. So it's
Cool.
interesting to
Yes, that's a cool one.
play with that. Yeah.
Be interesting. They make so many things available. They probably even have the threshold available too.
Yes, you can. You can program that. I'm not too sure how, but
Wow.
it's in there. Oh yeah, UBX CFG nav 5 allows for configuration of distance threshold. So if the estimated position is farther from the static hold position, then this static mode will be quit.
Mm.
Okay.
Right.
So
Cool.
we have options on options.
But even it's probably you know, right, might want to have that be able to disable, enable that, because there may be times when you just say, you know, have it not give you all that noise around an area.
Yeah.
If you're on a trip and you stop at a location, have it not put, you know, dots all around that area. It'll just give you a spot.
One spot, yeah.
Be
Yeah.
good for you to play around with it, you know, on some of the trips that you guys take.
Mhm.
Yes.
It'll cut down on some of the points.
Mhm.
All right,
Yeah. We
I'm
have
gonna get
other
cut out
people?
any second now, I think.
Yes, I think so. 1 minute and 30 seconds, I think, something like that.
Oh,
Okay, well, have a good week, everyone.
you too.
Okay, good.
Thank you all.
We keep updating
Okay,
channel.
bye.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.